Hi, welcome to Just How I Planted. My name is Shantae, and today I will be showing you how I made this DIY propagation station. So right now it's only halfway finished, but we will be doing the second half together. So stay tuned and let's get into this video. When I started this project, firstly, I used a baby gate, and you can pretty much find a baby gate at like any thrift store, like under $5. But this one was given to me, and I'm like, my kids are too old for a baby gate. What can I use this as? So when I looked at it, it looked like a trellis to me. And so I just imagined plants trailing all over here. So of course, when I did it, I had it laid down and then I glued each vial. But now that I already have water and plants in there, I can't do it the same way. So this will be an experiment for both of us, and you could just watch this trial and error. But the supplies that I plan on using is the E6000, and this is industrial strength glue. Now, because the glue has to have a chance to dry, I will also be using some Chanel stems or some pipe cleaners, but I don't have a lot of them, so I'm getting creative. And I am a big person who believes in, well, I'm not a big person, but I definitely believe in using what you have. So if you don't have Chanel stems, but you have tape, you can use that as well. So I will also be using some regular clear packing tape just so that I can secure the vials while the industrial strength glue is drying. So let's get started. And of course, all of these things will be linked in the description below for you. You will also need some water to fill your vials up, and of course the plants that you want to propagate. So after we make this propagation station, I will show you a couple of propagations, how to do propagations, make cuts for your propagations, and then of course fill your beautiful propagation station. So before we get started, please do me a favor and like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps my channel. Subscribe, it's free for you, but it's going to help me out a lot, and I just really appreciate you. And let's get started. So to begin with, you want to take your vials. They all come with the cork on here. I don't need the cork, so I'm just going to set that to the side. I'll probably trash it later. So as you can see, I have each one. I'm going to put everyone right under the one I have. So you can do them as close or as far as you want. So I am going to put mine right here. So firstly, I am going to open my glue. Okay, so when you open your glue, you're going to have to pierce the top. All right, so I have my glue ready for me, and I'm going to have a piece of tape. Got my hair. Have a piece of tape just to secure it. So I'm just going to put it right here on my watering can, and I'm going to put the glue onto the actual gate. So I'm going to put 2 dabs, and it is very goopy. All right, so I'm just going to hold it here, and if I let go, it's definitely going to slide. So we have to secure it. Now with the Chanel stems, when I did the first, we don't want it up too high. When I did the first batch, because it wasn't on the wall, was able to go around and secure it. Now it's going to be difficult for me to go and tie it, but if you're just doing this from scratch, feel free to just lay this flat and use your Chanel stem and go around and then just tie it in the middle. Yeah, so I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'm not even going to pretend like I can. I'm not going to play myself. I instead am going to use a piece of tape to just hold it in place. This is a hot mess, y'all. Okay, like so. So of course, in my case, because I'm doing things a little backward, I'm going to definitely make sure, this needs another piece of tape. I'm definitely going to make sure that it dries completely before adding any water, because once you put the water in it, it's going to make it heavy, and then it's going to fall if it's not dry. So I'm just going to secure it. And because this tape is clear, I might even just leave the tape on here, and then I have the industrial strength glue that is going to keep it firmly secured onto my wire gate. I think I'm going to slide that down a little bit. All right, so it looks like it's not really going anywhere. So, but still, just to be safe, I'm not gonna put any water in there until it is all the way done. Okay, so we're gonna just repeat this process all the way down. And by we, I mean me, because you're gonna be smart enough to not put it on the wall before you finish. Okay, so I paused the video so I can pre-tear my tape. So y'all make sure y'all do that. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, okay? Learn from my mistakes, okay? I'm here to do it so you don't have to. So I have torn on my tape and we're gonna keep continuing to go down the line. Alrighty, so everything is up and it went by rather quickly. So I'm going to let it dry. And while I let it dry, I'm going to go around and see what type of things I want to propagate. There's some plants that I already know I've needed to take cuttings from, but you know how life gets, it gets busy. So I'm going to let this dry and I'm going to do that. We're going to go and find what plants we're going to cut. I'm going to need, of course, a pair of scissors, and I sanitize my scissors with hand sanitizer because you want to make sure that you are not giving your plant any bacteria or anything, and they're going to have an open cut, so you want them to be able to heal correctly. So let's go figure out what cuttings we should take. All right, so here we're in my guest bedroom, and I'm going to take some cuttings from this Monstera Adamsoni, otherwise known as the Swiss cheese plant. So I've had this for a couple of weeks now, and I think I want to do some propagation so that I can do some giveaways, because who doesn't want free plants, right? So I am going to begin by taking a cutting at the node. And so what a node is where the stem separates, and it's usually right underneath a leaf. So you're going to cut right at the node, like so. So with your propagations, I can pop this in the water and it can just grow roots here, or you can make 3 separate cuttings at each node. So I haven't really decided what I want to do. Maybe I'll keep it long because I think that will look extra cute on my propagation wall, long like that. Should I do another cutting? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I think I'll just take one cutting for now because I don't want to take too much off of it. I want it to look nice and full like how it looks now. So let's find something else to propagate. Here we're in my bathroom and I have a bunch of plants to choose from, but I think that, hop in this bathtub, I think I want to take some cuttings from this polka dot begonia. I have had this for a few weeks as well. So you also want to find a node here. So this one is the tallest one. So maybe I'll take this one since it's like getting out of control. And so if you look, you just want to take it right below the leaf. So I'm actually going to cut down here. And then I will do another cutting here because I don't need this stem now. So I will cut here. And then when we get ready to put them in the water, I will show you, I will probably make another cutting here, another cutting here. So I'll just have the 3 separate leaves going in the water together. So that is the second thing that I want to propagate. So I'm going to set this to the side. And then my lovely philodendron sparrow marks. I love this so much. It's growing like crazy. When I bought this, I got this off of Etsy, and it was a 3-leaf cutting when I got it, and it took forever to take off, but now that it is finally growing, it's growing like crazy. I have it in semi-hydroponics, LECA. I have it in LECA here, and it's growing like crazy. So because this is one of my favorite plants, of course I want more. So when you want more and you've already paid for a plant, like why spend money on another plant? You can just propagate it and make more. So I'm going to take another cutting here. So you can come get close and you can see, oh, so many shoots. Like look at that. So you just want to find a good node. So I'll probably take this one right at the top. And then do you see the nodes here? So this is one, this is two. So I'm just going to cut this whole thing right here. I'm going to cut down here. I'll take this whole thing and then I can just stick this in the water and then the roots will come closer. And then the roots will come out from where the nodes are here. Okay, I think that I will also take a cutting from my raindrop peperomia. I've never propagated these before, so this will be interesting. But I'm just going to do the same thing. Find a node. I can find a node. Okay, here's one right here. Do I want to cut this low? Go here. Okay. Since I'm experimenting, I'm not going to get too crazy. I'm just going to cut it right here. Yeah, and so there's a node right in there in between that leaf. So I will cut here as well. All right, so I have four cuttings and like 12 vials, and I don't know what else I want to propagate. So maybe I will do this prayer plant. You guys are gonna have to forgive my bathroom. It is under renovations. So I'm going to cut this prayer plant. Now the prayer plant, I watched a YouTube video and you can take cuttings, a stem cutting. So I don't know if you need a node. From what I saw, she just took and cut the stick and then it was fine. So I am just going to take a cutting here. And that will be that. So I am going to propagate this as well. I think I will also propagate my Hoya crinkle 8. It's called a crinkle 8 because there are 8 different notches in the leaves. And this thing, it just grows so beautifully. I haven't had the best luck with Hoyas, so I'm kind of scared. But, you know, I'm just going to take the risk and see. So I'm just going to cut right here at the leaf right below the node. And there we go. So I have a couple different things I want to propagate. I think I have 2 more plants I can think to take cuttings from. So let's go do that. All right, I have 3 of my favorite plants. I love these plants and I'm like super scared to cut them. This one, I am propagating it with a air layering method. And so that's when you basically take sphagnum moss and you put it over the node so that the plant can grow roots before you decide to take the cutting. So this has been in there for a couple weeks. I'm going to check it in a couple more weeks, I guess. But I will take a small cutting off of this just because it's so beautiful, and I just don't. Sometimes cuttings fail, and so I don't want to waste it. Even though it grows back, I don't know. So I'll take a short cutting from here, maybe a 2-leaf cutting. So I'm going to come right here below this node. So I have 1, 2. I'm going to cut at the 3rd node. So you can see the node here. So just a close-up, that's what the node looks like. All right, so this is my Scindapsus pictus or my satin pothos. So that's gonna go in the cuttings pile. And then next I have a Peperomia obtusifolia. And this is one of my favorite plants. I have a smaller version, but this one is variegated. So if you look underneath here, you see plenty of nodes here. So I'm going to take this cutting here. Or do I want to go lower? No, I'm going to cut right below it because I'll probably pull this leaf off just so it can fit in the tube. So I'm just going to cut here. All right. And then lastly, my heartleaf philodendron. So you see how it is trailing beautifully. So this is one of my favorite. It is a fast grower and it has plenty of nodes to choose from. And so we will be taking a cutting from here as well. All right, so I don't want to take the hang time away from it. So I'll just do a couple on this one as well. But you know what? I think I wanted to trail. I wanted to trail on my propagation station. So, all right, so we'll take a cutting. Let's take it right here. Okay, so when you have a cutting like this, you're going to have to go ahead and sacrifice that leaf. So this is going to have to go in the trash, and then this is the part that will go down in the propagation station in the tube. Okay, so it's been some time. So next we want to fill our tubes with water, and you can use, in my opinion, you should use a watering can because this small spout is going to help to make sure that the water is going into the vials and not making a mess. So you don't want to fill it all the way up. Don't mind the discoloration of this water. I have some mosquito bits soaking in here. That way it can kill off mosquitoes. So don't mind that. So about right. Oh, act like y'all didn't see that. So you're just going to go and do the same thing for all your tubes. Okay, this step is completely optional, but I do have this rooting powder. It's called Take Root. I will make sure to link it in the description below, but it just helps your propagations to root faster. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to make a mess firstly, okay? And then I am going to add some rooting powder. So I'm going to take this leaf off here, and I'm going to just dip it in the rooting powder and then just plop it in my propagation station. All right, so it's not completely covered in the water, but the bottom node is in the water. So I'm just going to do the same thing for all the plants that I have here. Let me take off some of this. Now, I forgot to mention when you're doing propagations, you want to try not to have too many leaves on your propagation because the more leaves that you have, the more the plant is going to have to focus on growing the leaves and less attention will be put on regrowing the roots. Now, there are times when you can propagate, like I have this cutting right here, and of course it has several leaves on there, and it's still going to root, but it's just going to take much longer. So it's really up to you. And then pothos is a whole nother thing. Pothos, they root very quickly. These that I have in here, they've been rooting for maybe about 2 weeks, and you can already see the roots on here. A couple of these I can probably go ahead and pot up. But let me continue. So like I told you, I am going to take a cutting here because there is a node here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that. And then I don't need this extra stem, so I'm going to cut that. And then let's peel this back so I can see what's going on. A node here. Okay, I think I'll propagate this just like this. All right, so pop that in there. And then add your friend. Oh, you can have your own there. All right, my heartleaf philodendron. So you see I have my node here, and I'm just going to plop that in the water. Now, as the water evaporates, you want to make sure that you are coming back and just filling up the water, because if it's in here and the water has evaporated and it's down here, it's going to dry out and your propagation is going to fail. So make sure you are paying attention to that. So I've run out of water. I need to fill the rest of these with water. My arm got tired because I'm out of shape. I don't go to the gym. This is my hobby. Okay, so I took a break, but now I'm back to filling the vials up. I'm confused on this one, you guys. I'm not even gonna lie. some research. But we're here now, no going back. So hopefully it roots. And then my Hoya. I'm just nervous. Pray for me, y'all. I'm nervous about my Hoya. I'm gonna take off this bottom leaf just so it can fit in here. Let me put some moving powder. Give me all that. I messed up all this house because he does not take care of plants, and I just took a cutting and it has grown like crazy. So let's see. What do we want to cut? So there's nodes all up and through here. You see all these nodes to choose from. I'm gonna cut right here. And you can join the party. I think this is two different ones. This is so crispy, y'all. Let me just take this off. Uh-oh. Poor Hoya. Alright, let's put you back in there. Okay. The leaves are too big. Okay, I stuffed it down in there.